We're going live. All right.
Always record.
Always record. All right. Here we go. What's up, boys? Where you guys at?
We are at our studio in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the one and only.
Yep.
Yo, it's people. Actually, one of my close friends, Paul McDonald. I heard he knows you guys pretty well.
Oh yeah, we know Paul. Paul is like our brother from another mother.
Oh,
We've
man.
spent so much time. In fact, actually, Paul and I wrote a song on this latest record that we're about to put out.
What song?
It's actually going to be the second single off the RGB Red Green Blue album. It's called "Write You a Song."
Oh,
Yeah.
what's it?
They couldn't come up with another title. They're like, what are we going to call this song we just wrote?
Write You a Song.
Write you a song.
Yeah.
What? That's so funny. Like, what? Tell me. He went on tour with you guys. What? How'd you guys meet each other?
We knew him originally through his ex-wife, and we just kind of fell in love with Paul when we met him. We're like,
Yeah, we got him in the divorce.
He's like, fuck having one girl. We're gonna have three dudes. Let's fucking get this.
Yeah. Paul is from Huntsville. My wife, her family's all from Huntsville. And so kind of like, it's just our kind of people.
Yeah, there was just like a lot of things. And Paul is a great hang and a very talented songwriter and has a really unique voice and just, I don't know.
and a great body.
Yeah, great body.
I was going to say we have strong beard envy. And he can do a hobo beard like
Did you say beard?
almost no one I know.
Yeah,
Isn't it crazy when you meet just like guys who've been hustling in the music industry just as long as you guys? I mean, it's inspiring to see guys keep going. You know, what's the hardest part about keeping the name around?
Well, I mean, I think it goes to any principle of longevity. It's that thing of some combination of knowing who you are enough that you're not, the failures are not the things that define you. You know, it's like if you look at the people that, make impacts on, business, music, art, most of them, we were talking about it, just earlier today, you hear no a lot.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
So I kind of I've always,
No is everybody else's favorite word.
we're not really able to do other things really. So, this is what we know. This is who we are.
Yeah.
So
Well,
just keep.
if no wasn't
You
in
know
the
what?
vocabulary, what would you guys be doing?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
So many things.
Oh gosh, I would probably be doing radio in some capacity, that or writing in some other form.
living
I
in
don't
a
know.
van down by the river.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if people couldn't say no, we'd probably be signed to Curb Records.
Oh, that's true too. Oh yeah, and that would have been a disaster.
Yes.
That record contract, I remember we lucked out and ended up with a really good attorney through a really exceptional manager and concert promoter, a guy named Jim Halsey. He connected us with his attorney early on, but long before we were signed. And we got an offer from Curb Records, and he was like, "Listen, this is a 40-page contract, and I got 80 things I want to change about it."
Oh my God. And was he able to change it or no?
No, he said, "Don't sign it," basically,
He said,
because
if you want to be making music in 2 years, don't sign this.
Run,
contract.
don't walk, I
Yeah.
think was his phrase.
yeah,
And you got what?
Yeah, the thing.
Why'd you guys sign it then?
We didn't.
we didn't.
Oh,
we
thank
did.
God. Okay, let's clap that up.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
We don't want the boys to get fucked. We don't want the boys to get fucked.
Yeah.
It's just not that way anyway.
We learned early on that just because someone was enthusiastic about you, it didn't mean they were enthusiastic about your best interests.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, I mean,
What about
that's one of the.
Yeah, explain that to me. That's
Yeah, well,
one of the strange things about music, you have to be confident enough to be a self-promoter, right? You have to kind of jokingly be narcissist for, professionally. But it's always a combination of, because it's not just ego. It's like, I have something, and it's hard to separate yourself from that. Anyway, that's what I was going to say.
yeah. And what about
it's not.
what about when you were a kid as well? Like, didn't you guys have a shitty record deal when you first got your first deal?
Our deal was pretty good because we had gone through so many people that had said no. We'd read a lot of contracts,
Right.
Yeah.
So our deal's pretty good. Actually, I think all the rights to our records revert in about 5 or 10 years. So, when we've been a band for 40 years, we'll actually own everything we've ever recorded.
Holy. Does that make you bitter though?
No, not really. I mean, think of it as you're going to make certain mistakes. I mean, the record industry we, as far as how people fare, we've fared fairly well considering all the possible terrible things that can happen to you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and I will say though too, some of that is also choosing not to, shall we say, make certain lucrative deals that you could have made because you didn't feel like it was good for the long tail. It's kind of trying to say, look, I want to think about this for 5 to 10 years from now, not just right now. But of course, then again, we probably should have done the dolls thing. It probably wouldn't.
You know, I think that we've always been really a live band. We've always considered that to be very important, right?
Yeah.
I think the philosophy of being a live band, it changes the way you look at your fame and your sort of adoring fans, because it's very much about the moment you're in, right? And every artist who plays a lot of concerts and really values that and earns their bread by selling tickets and being in that moment, kind of their relationship with the fans, I think, is much purer, and their view of themselves is usually, not always, a lot more real. They get it, that like I walk off stage and there's nobody back there adoring. And I understand that living in this moment and moving on to the next moment is valuable. And I think that keeps you from, in a lot of cases, getting the bad lead singer disease kind of head where you're like, man, I'm the greatest thing ever, because you know it comes and goes, and every night is a good show or a bad show. And the tech's on the side of the stage trying to fix your in-ear monitors while you're going deaf because there's static or something, right? And you've got to kind of keep smiling and singing, and it's just blowing your head off. And you're like, this sucks.
Yeah. Right.
You know, one of the things that, I mean, honestly, for artists today, that, you know, the problem or the challenge with a lot of people breaking out just on YouTube or just online, it's not that that's not an amazing thing, because going direct to fan is incredible. And we experienced the beginning of that when it all began, 20 plus years ago. But the challenge is, like, you aren't forced to learn how to walk out and deal with a bad night.
Right.
People do get blown up by comments, and that's negative and sad as well. But, when you walk into a physical space and like there's 12 people there and you need for there to be 100 and it looks pretty crummy, or if there's 1,000 and they don't, but it's a bad show for you. I mean, that's how you get forged. It's like forged in fire, the one ring of artistry.
I think part of it is too that when you're in a stage environment, you have this megaphone, right?
Right.
And you kind of have this ability to change the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
When you live on Instagram or YouTube, the comment section has more power than you do as the person people are there to watch. Like,
it's scary.
Everybody's there to watch you, but they're looking at some dude who's like posting links to some other thing.
Like sitting in a beanbag eating Cheetos, Zach's a moron.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, funny, laugh. Wait, hold on a second.
Exactly. Or like, check out my new hot piss.
I'm performing live on the Great Wall of China, and you're watching that guy's emoji.
Right.
Yeah. It's basically like giving the heckler a megaphone. I don't know why.
Yeah. Do you blame ADD culture?
No, ADD culture.
No, I blame Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I've always been an ABBA fan. I don't blame. Oh, wait, different acronym.
Yeah. I saw a meme the other day that was like, since when did we all get the good idea that Mark Zuckerberg should be responsible for the mental health and well-being of our children?
Right.
Yeah.
It was like something
I think it's a funny thing too, because I was with somebody who was talking about the negatives of technology, right? Yeah. And I'm like, what you mean is there's an application you use on technology that you don't like, right? It's social media. That's not technology. That's just the thing you use technology for.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
And I think that's we miss that stuff. I mean, ADD culture, no. What actually has happened is the world has said, I want immediate feedback from everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have never wanted immediate feedback from everyone.
No.
He doesn't want immediate feedback from me.
I don't even want him to tell me what he thinks. Why would I want immediate feedback from everyone in the audience? Like, when was the last time you finished the song? You were like, hey guys, how did I do? Give me a 1 to 5 scale, and everybody put their fingers up, and guess what they're going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Wait, we're number one? We're number one. Hey, guys, they think we're number one. It's sort of like blaming all food when they really need to blame all donuts.
Right. Exactly.
Like these things, food makes me feel horrible. No, you're just eating only Twinkies.
Right. And it goes back to what you're saying, like with Zuckerberg controlling the mental health of our kids. I mean, you're totally, that is totally spot on. Like, that's the reason why we're in this predicament. So I'm like, what the fuck are we trying to do here? So like going back to like the musician side too. So like, how do you guys not listen to all the bullshit and just be you guys?
Well, you just sort of mute things. No, I mean,
and he's talking about me. Actually, that was the really complicated.
Nobody's impervious to negativity and to things that come, at you. But I think that's not possible to turn it all off. But I do think knowing what you're trying to do and who you are. I mean, that's what it goes back to. Especially, I mean, if I feel much more, pity for people that are like the random dry cleaner in Oshkosh who suddenly has people like screaming at them because they didn't set up to have a public platform at the same level. I want to start a business, and now you have this dialogue. Whereas people that have been making music, I mean, we are sort of asking for it. I mean, we're putting our face out there. We're saying, look at this.
You are. I'm just saying,
right song.
Want an audience.
The nature of art is you're building an audience, like music, especially. And so at some point, I mean, they say, you look at the kind of the idea of having haters or having people like, if you have people willing to mock you or go after you, that means you must have done something right. So
as well as wrong.
So I mean, I think at some level, when you put yourself out there as an artist, you kind of sign up to a certain amount of abuse. But the question is, the only reason you can take it is because you actually know why you showed up.
Yeah.
Like you had something you wanted to do.
Yeah. I think too,
I hear that.
A good creative process is kind of exhausting the way like a good workout is exhausting. And so you should be developing the muscles to deal with your own rejection, right? And that's just sort of like, oh, you didn't like it? Cool. Well,
Zach rejects himself daily. He walks in, it's like, you're horrible. Hate your face.
But to me, like, it's also about like, we do so many different things. And I think as a musician, I would say I find more inspiration outside of listening to other people's music than that's not really the way I get inspired to write a song. It's like, man, what is everybody doing?
Right.
I think for me, that's a huge benefit because it keeps you in a positive sense insulated. Like you're not really being influenced by, I need to be like that. When you go watch a great movie and you hear a score in that environment, you go, man, that's cool. I need to step up. Or you read a great book, or you go play a video game. You're like, that was amazing. I just want to create something.
Right.
I think that's an even better inspiration than hearing the latest successful album or cool project that another musician did, because I think your creativity can be more pure sometimes when it's not actually inspired by the music you heard.
Totally. And it goes back to what you're saying about blocking the noise of what your fans are trying to say too. I mean,
the thing is, the actual fan is incredible. And we've benefited from a great community. But you obviously can never please every person ever.
Right.
And, if you don't have a compass, you really have to have that sense of, look, I'm waking up and I'm creating because I'm inspired to create. This is who I am.
Right.
And we talk about this with the audience. It's like, hey, we have a song called I Was Born. And so I was born to do something no one's ever done before. It's not to say everybody's going to be Muhammad Ali, but you literally are the only you. You've got something you're going to contribute to the universe. Yeah. We still, all of us, we're not the same in our creative process and even, things that always inspire us, but we do all have a sense of this is what I want to make. And even if nobody's listening, I'm going to be creating. I'm going to want to create something. I think that's a huge benefit to overcoming just.
How long did it take you? You talk about building that muscle of like building the calluses of that. How long did it take you in your career until you said, fuck it?
Well, I mean,
let me reflect on the day.
It's a Thursday. Exactly.
It was 8 p.m. on a Thursday in Milwaukee.
Exactly.
I think it was when we basically got kicked out by our church as like, under the age of less than double digits. And
because we were singing too much rock and roll.
We were growing up singing gospel songs, and then we're like, I guess we're not only going to write songs about, that. We're going to write songs about.
There's already church songs in church, so
Yeah.
we should write songs that are not in church. Just
First rejected by, those.
By the
Isn't that
churches.
ironic?
Did it bum you out that you were rejected
Long
by the
history
church?
of rejected
Are
by
you
the
guys
church.
religious people? Were you bummed out that you were rejected by the church? You said, fuck it. We're rock stars now.
Well, it was probably the fact that we said fuck it. They probably didn't like a 9-year-old saying that.
Actually, I just figured it out.
Now I know why they were so
they
pissed off.
were right.
Like I was in Sunday school and everybody was like, we were walking out, fingers in the air, listening to Sex Pistols.
Sing it.
This,
All right. Hope you're enjoying the interview, but a quick message from our buds. Hey, musicians, are you playing shows but have no clips to show for it? Our new sponsor, Jam Cut, is changing the content game for bands and artists all over. I'm telling you, we really need this, actually, because I edit all my videos when I'm on the bus, and it's a pain in the fucking ass. Just upload whatever video and audio you have, whether that's phone clips, camera footage, or board audio, and Jam Cut automatically syncs it all over together so you can start cutting clips from the best parts of your shows or jam sesh. Dude, I'm telling you, how many times I waste fucking just editing my own video on Instagram Reel? I could be finding a girlfriend. I don't know. And guys, this isn't another AI slop video app. This startup was made by 3 musicians out of Denver, and they built it with love for the craft, and we're supporting Denver. We're supporting Denver businesses, which is important to me in this scene. So Jam Cut's online editor lets you and your entire band put your own creative spin on it. It tracks each musicians for tight vertical crops, adds smooth pans and zoomed plus transitions, separates your audio into stems, and has sick effects that react to the music you're playing. Jam Cut turns one show into a week's of content. This is huge. Actually, honestly, no bullshit. This is huge because sometimes we only get these like shitty one video iPhone videos, and Jam Cut can actually cut it into something worth posting. So take it from me. It's fun as hell to use. Your first month is free. Just tell them I sent you. Use the code FRASCO and experience the future of live show video editing. So get yourself out. Go to fucking Jam Cut, all right? Hey, boys, what about Jam Cut? We love it. We fucking love it.
were people worried about you? Because it's got to be a trip to get that famous, that young, start selling out like the Hollywood Bowl, being on television, having the hugest hit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can hear about childhood stars and how it fucks them up, Like, were people worried about you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I worry about me every day, but that's a whole other thing.
They were,
I think there were definitely people that were probably, especially peripherally, like people that didn't know us that well or weren't, doing the day-to-day with us. So we're probably a little bit concerned about that element. But I mean, we had, not protective parents, but adequately protective parents, both parents that were willing to be brave enough to allow us to do what we were doing, but also recognize that there's kind of a point where like the pressure and the kind of insane, like life of that celebrity factor could be really challenging. So they were pretty good at cutting against that grain. And again, as I said kind of earlier, in some ways you sacrifice a little bit of chasing the popularity, train for your own long-term sanity in certain cases, but that's hopefully why, you wake up today and go, you know what, I feel really good about every record that I've made. And I don't think to myself, oh, I wish I never would have done that. I just think, oh, well, it wasn't as successful as I hoped it was or whatever. But you have a certain sense of internal confidence and pride that, hey, I made the best choices I could given the circumstance.
Well, I think you should jump back just a few steps, right? You said a few minutes ago, like we were joking about getting kicked out of the church.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I mean, faith is a huge part of that. And I think sometimes when you look at people who are in the spotlight, you do lose your perspective on where you fit in the hierarchy
what
of life.
matters in the world,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, especially when you're young,
Because you're your
and
own
not
messiah,
grounded.
man.
Yeah.
You're saving the world.
I wake up and pray to me.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
The cult of Hanson.
I think, yeah.
I mean, like, dude, faith is the reason we're not complete weirdos. Not because, I mean, and that comes from your parents, that comes from your upbringing. So in that sense, but like,
spiritual grounding.
Let's get real. There's no special sauce except for understanding that you're accountable to all your actions and that you are very small little tadpole in the stream of life.
So how did you guys stay so humble and getting so big so young? Paul told me you guys are legit. I looked you guys up. You guys are like the first real indie band to like make their own merch, basically run the business as a family. Like you guys are doing an operation that I fucking respect. 'Cause I'm in a band. I've been in band for almost 15 years, doing 250 shows a year as well. And you know, it's like you talk about the grind, and like especially when you don't have the idea of like, I don't need a fucking record label anymore. Let's do this ourselves. There's got to be someone who taught you drive, and who was that?
Well, Taylor was naturally born with a level of drive that is unusual.
Really?
I will give Taylor that. I will give Taylor that.
If he was
mantra.
an engine, it would say high torque.
Drive shaft. That's what they call me when I'm not looking.
All the ladies.
It's the drive shaft arrogant.
He has 7 children. To prove it, it's very complicated. We try not to think about it.
You have 7 children?
I have 7.
Holy fuck, man. You are fucking my dude. Let's go, dude.
It took me a minute to figure that part out. But
Did you?
No, I mean, I will say this, that it was, as Zach said, obviously grounding and sense of your perspective and that there's something bigger than you is huge. Yeah. And I think anybody that's created things, regardless of what people say about their belief system, I think you recognize there's something powerful happening when you tap into art. I mean, you're a musician, you're creative. It is incredible. If you paint something, if you write something, if you make music, it's like, whoa, I get to step into the stream and then call it mine. The independent thing too, I was just going to speak to that specifically. You know, nobody knows exactly what, makes honestly the mistakes happen or the positive stuff happen entirely. Nobody can fully take credit for how things come together, but we did start off beating the pavement before we got signed, even though we were super young. We did the band stuff. We just couldn't go to bars. So, I mean, we literally licked stamps and had a mailing list of 3,000, for local gigs before we were signed, when I was 12 or something.
Hold on.
And we did the thing.
You guys were sending demos at 12 years old to labels?
We weren't just sending demos. We were sending cards out with lists of gigs to fans that had signed up to a mailing list that we were playing in, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. And
okay. Back up. This is holy shit. You guys are. Let's fucking go, Hanson. That's what I'm talking about. That fucking hustle, dude. A lot of people forgot the hustle. What was like the first song you guys actually wrote where you felt like, damn, we're actually becoming songwriters?
Is Rain? Is that probably the one that was kind of the most? Yeah, there's a song called Rain. We call it Rain, but Rain Falling Down.
And you would have been 11?
11, 10, something like that.
I think so. It's sort of like the first song you write and the first song you're talking about that moment.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I actually think, to me, something happened. Someone saw us play shows, and he was a special ed teacher, and he would teach the advanced classes. And he said, you should come do a school assembly, because I think kids your age seeing you play would be amazing for these kids, right?
Because basically we would just play anywhere, but we could, because as kids you can't just go out to play.
So we were homeschooled. That's super popular in Oklahoma, and so we didn't really have school experiences. We didn't have those kind of things, and we showed up on stage and played for a group of probably 4th to 7th graders, right? And it was like
pandemonium. Yeah.
Screaming at a pitch you didn't know people could hear, right? Because these are genuine, very small humans.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
You're the same age, right? Or how old were you guys?
Yeah, we were the same age.
Holy fuck.
I think at the oldest that we were doing that when I was maybe as old as 13 or 14. But Zach would have been, he would have been
9 or 10,
11, 12. I mean, so Zach was prime audience. Yeah. Taylor was prime audience. I was a little bit old for the crowd in some ways, but
I think that moment, energy. That first time we did that, was like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah,
this is different, because when you play an arts festival, or you go play on the patio at a restaurant, or you go play a block party, you're kind of a second-rate attraction.
You're an add-on,
right? People are there to eat.
Yeah, you're an add-on.
People are there to look at art. Like when we did these, the kids came to watch us play like a paying audience, and they freaked out because they were used to seeing like here comes the fireman, or here comes, the
Bad
science
magician,
teacher or a magician. They're like, oh, people my age playing music. I've never heard anything like this. And that was, I think, the first moment where it was like, okay, this is different. Needless to say, we started playing schools.
Yeah. And to this day, actually, the other night, I was at the Gary Clark Jr. show at Gaines Ballroom.
Right.
Shout out to Gary Gaines. Great show, amazing show. And a guy walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, you played at so-and-so elementary school when I was, so-and-so age. And I remember that to this day." Blah, blah. So there's especially locally in Tulsa, you'll get that occasionally because there are folks, that grew up here and they'll walk up to you and be like, "Hey man, I saw you guys like years before anybody had heard of you at my elementary school."
Well,
So,
and I think, you use the word hustle. I mean, that, the thing about all this stuff is it's, when you talk about it abstractly, it seems even more sort of like, oh my God. But when it really comes down to it, all of us are given something and we either choose to run with it or we choose to run away from it.
Yeah. I go, "Honey, what is it that's different about bad art and bad music?" And she goes, "Well, you can close your eyes when you're looking at bad art.
Yeah.
You can't get away from bad music."
True.
You can, I guess you can do this. Man.
What about what about distractions? Do you ever have a distraction in your life that didn't keep you focused on the main thing, music? Like maybe drugs, alcohol, women. I mean, was there any distractions in your life that got you not on the path you wanted to be in?
I'm sure everyone has had something along the way. No one's had, thankfully, a major drug problem. But it's
although I will say, I think I drank a little bit too much whiskey thanks to the pandemic.
Everyone's an alcoholic now. That's all good.
Lord.
It started off slow. Now, but anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think, honestly, I think music is sometimes a distraction, if I'm honest. I think what you were talking about earlier about sort of your big head and kind of those things, how do you stay grounded? You have to understand where music fits in the whole spectrum of what you need to be.
Right.
And as a dad with 5 kids, music is not number 1, right? Music is not even number 3, right? Music is in the 5 or 7 or 8 range because there's so many other things that have this timeless requirement.
Well, actually urgent requirements.
Yeah. But music is powerful. And it's also like looking in a mirror. I think it's a reflection that you have to have. Everybody has different versions of it. In our case, we're musicians. And so we use this to show the people around us, the number 1s and the number 2s and the number 5s, right? You go, this is something that I can share with you, that I can give as a lasting reflection of how I want you to live your life or see someone living their life. And so what we say, how hard we work, how we represent ourselves, those things matter because of all the other things.
Right. That's beautiful, man. It's and you're holding yourself credible to the life you want to live. So the person you want to be. So it's a full circle thing, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the perspective on what it is you want to leave behind is definitely bigger than, kill everybody in the path that gets in the way of my ambition.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, that the fight for this, the fight to be an artist and make music is so, if you get to do it for a year at a high level, let alone, a lifetime, like we've been able to do pretty much, you're in such a small group that gets that opportunity that you also, if the minute you step back and go, yeah, I got this is easy. I don't really have to give it. It does, you see it dissipate because somebody's ready to, to sell the right arm to get the chance.
Right.
And we saw that early, that I was just with a man you mentioned, Jim Halsey, the other day, who was still a friend. He's 91 years old. He managed and represented incredible artists. I mean, across the spectrum, mostly country music. But he was telling the story of how he had done a conference that was in Tulsa and he had spoken, and our dad at the time, who's just trying to figure out how to even help us. We're very, very, very young. It's 2 years in. I would have probably been 10 years.
Well,
old.
I mean, that was right around the time we got that horrible offer.
Yeah.
Horrible record.
He had showed up. He was staying in a hotel, and he got a call in his room at 7 a.m. And it was our dad on the other line. And he said, hey, you said at your conference yesterday that if we had something special, we should, really kind of, do our best to, get out there and get seen. And Jim said, that's great. Let's set up a meeting. He said, no, we're in the lobby. we were up in the lobby that morning, standing downstairs.
Let's fucking go, Hanson. Let's go hustling.
So, I mean, that obviously is not, that's a level, of crazy, but at the same time, it's really just that urgency, that sense of like, hey, this is, I'm ready to give him all.
Our dad was doing the due diligence, but our mom was the one that woke him up and said, hey, the boys should be there at 7 a.m. So, so credit where credit is due.
I was only there for the taco boy.
One thing that's really changed my life of how I control anxiety and how I control going through my day-to-day of partying and playing really hard every night and going into back to being a normal person during the day. I've been doing this thing called contrast therapy, where it's basically I go in a sauna for 45 minutes. I do 15-minute intervals 3 times, and then I'll do a cold plunge between 2 to 3 minutes every other time. And through that, I've seen my dopamine level dramatically grow. I have been the happiest I've been for a long time. And it's all because of Othership. Othership is a New York and Toronto-based company that gave me a safe space to find myself again with their amazing saunas, their amazing cold plunges, and amazing community. I started journaling again. They gave me the opportunity to journal in the saunas. They gave me the opportunity to get deeper into my mind and get more comfort in the idea of being okay with myself. And what I love about it, the community that Othership has brought me has really opened my mind that I don't need to go to the bars every night anymore. I could go and talk to people outside of a social community that required alcohol or party. And I could go in there and feel healthy and talk to people and communicate. And that's one thing that Othership has brought to my life that has changed my life. So if you're in the New York area, you should definitely try out Othership. They got a great app, great community, and Toronto too. I know a lot of people listen to this podcast in Toronto too. But I go every day, and it has changed the way I perceived life. It's changed the way I find happiness in the mundane parts of the day. So go check out Othership. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. All right, back to the interview.
You talk about dedication, how hard it is you have to give yourself 120% in this industry to even fucking have a chance. How hard is it to be a father of fucking 7 and 5 and 4 when you're always gone?
It's very hard.
It's very hard. Actually, I'm realizing that. So my youngest is a almost 8-year-old daughter. And I was realizing, and Zach, we talked about this, actually, you guys even more than me. She has memories of me doing shows, but because of this last 2-year period, she's kind of weirdly spoiled in a certain sense that dad has not been traveling a whole lot.
Oh, because the quarantine.
So when we were working on this latest record for the last, for a few months, she was like, Dad, where are you? What are you doing? You shouldn't be at the office all the time. You shouldn't be gone. What is wrong? Like it was really interesting. So yeah, I mean, it is challenging. It is hard. Luckily, all of us, met our wives in some capacity or another, while on the road. So they have no excuse other than realizing they signed up for this gig and we're sorry.
Yeah.
It's not surprising. Surprise.
You have to nurture that. You have to do your best to kind of, to bring the kids along when you can, to make sure that, your wife doesn't feel like you're completely abandoning her. But,
right.
but there's some of that. I mean, there is some of it. It's
got to be fucking hard, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I just think of like your family reunions and there's like fucking 18 kids, like Lord of the Flies style, just running around. Like do you ever like forget your kids?
Like
we actually have a conch in the back that we use.
Yeah. You ever like Home Alone?
Yeah, Taylor used to have 8 kids, but the other one was named Piggy.
Do you ever like Home Alone, forget a kid at the mall or some shit, or just like forget their name or something? I'd be forgetting all my kids' names. Like, Billy and fucking Johnny. Is that hard?
Just do what George Foreman did. Just name them all George. You always get it right.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. It's wild, man. But I think it's just understanding that everything is a give and take, right? It's like as a musician, when you collaborate with people, you understand that to bring someone else into the room means that it's not 100% you anymore, right? And so when you bring somebody else into the world, it's also not 100% you anymore. And the more people you bring into the world that are like, man, I love being around this person, which is how I feel about kids and great collaborators. Like we love Paul. Like it's so fun when Paul comes around and adds Paul to the music you're making, right?
Yeah.
You got to remember that. Like you no longer get what you want. You get what you have decided to be a part of. And you're the leader of a pack, not the leader of your birthday party anymore. You know, like you've got to nurture every single person. And that means giving up things you want and time you want. And honestly, the money and the life for those other people, it's just a huge sacrifice. But like everything, it's always better to give. Yeah. It's always more rewarding to give. And so if you get to give to a lot of kids, man, you feel really full.
Yeah. And they feel really, really like, you didn't have enough time for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never win, Hanson. Your fans will love you, your kids will fucking hate you at 16.
It's gonna be great.
You never even loved me.
Everybody loses. That's the message of this project.
You brought up a good point about, dedicating yourself to a team figure. How hard is it? You guys been a fucking band brotherhood for so long, and now as you grow older, you guys have your different opinions on things and your different approach on life. How hard is it to still be individual with how you believe, what the things you believe, with also running a business and nurturing to the fans and nurturing to that kind of thing? Can you explain how to keep that juggle?
The short answer is some counseling. Do we need to talk?
Yeah, I mean,
you sound like you're speaking from reality.
No, I'm in a band too, and so I'm an open book, and there's some things I can't say, but as musicians and artists, that's why we're in art, is to express the feelings we feel. So how hard is it as we grow older and you still have your group of fans, and maybe you guys have different opinions about things now? How hard is it to meet in the middle with that?
I think it'll make people listen to everything we've ever put out in a slightly different way as you sort of deconstruct the band in a way. And I think, in an environment that I think people are really into the polarization more than ever in history, how do we get a reaction? Calling you blue and you black and you red and you purple, and sort of dividing people. I think this is a way to say, look what we did. We divided not to make a point of how different we are, but to accentuate how much we appreciate each other, right? And as a band, we're doing things that are more different than ever together, right? It's not really about that it has to be one way. It's that it can be all these different ways and still serve everybody. I think about, I've been married for about 15 years. And when I first got married, I think all of our fights were about all the things we were supposed to want to do together, right? You're trying to do every single thing together, and it creates conflict because inevitably one person likes this thing over here, like walks in the park, and this person wants to play video games, and this person wants to, go to Thai restaurants, and this person wants just hamburgers, right? I think as you mature in your relationship, you realize that what you want to do is not do everything, but accentuate all the things you do well together. Right? And the things you don't like doing together, you should not do them together. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
This reminds me of when we're preparing for a trip, and I say to my wife, "Honey, what do you need from me?" And she says, "For you to leave me alone."
Yeah.
Right.
I need for you to distract the children for the next 7 hours.
I want to go sit on the beach and read a book.
Right.
That's what she's saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And she doesn't want you to sit on the beach next to her and read a book.
Yeah,
I think the deeper underlying issue is how many comparisons you're making to your relationship with your wife and your relationship with your brothers.
Yeah.
That's what we need to.
Well, it's kind of like a Freudian thing. You kind of fall in love with either your mom or your brother in some weird way. And what I was trying to talk about, I appreciate how that is with giving each other their time to grow in their space. I'm also talking about, do you guys ever beat the shit out of each other? Y'all ever got in some anger issues with each other? Never, you guys always Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the worst one?
You mean the last tour that we did?
Yeah, give me the
heard
dirt,
of it.
dude. Give me the dirt. What happened?
And
We're talkers.
You like Black Crows?
talking-
You're like the Robinsons.
Yeah, we're there's never been particularly physical. That's not ever been.
Well, I mean, it does happen. It normally is my fault.
Yeah.
I agree. It's very, very rare for something to get, to the point where people are getting really losing that kind of control. And what Zach said is true. I mean, the understanding where you're strong and backing off where you're not that's a balance. And I mean, anybody that's had a team, of any kind of any team, like, this is what we're going to do. You've got to have different leanings. That's what makes it successful. It's like everybody's not playing the same role.
Right.
Like you're going, hey man, there's some good here. But it is, it's stretching. And we, like we said, this year we had 30 years playing music
Let's
together.
fucking go.
And there's no question.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna clap to that. Let's go, Hanson. Let's fucking go, Hanson. Hell yeah.
So there's no question. It's not the exact same thing it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. But I think there is a respect for one another, and realizing that, it's a long road. Like, you've got to, you're not expecting every situation to be exactly the panacea. So you keep looking for places where you build stuff together. And man, I mean, nothing is more powerful than walking on stage and playing music in front of people. It is it's like a spiritual experience to look across the audience and say, wow, these people chose to be in this room. I don't know people, everybody's mom and cousin and boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're all sharing this experience right now. I mean, that's something that really gets, puts things back into focus as an artist.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's worth it. That's worth fighting.
It's true. It's like it becomes to all about the music. Like, it's got to be hard when like you're faced to like talk about politics and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like how hard. It's like when you're talking about, whatever thing you might have been talking about with your friends or something, and all of a sudden it gets in the news or something, like the COVID thing or the gun thing and stuff. It's got to be hard to like have your opinion, like feel like we need to give an opinion on some things when we just want to play music and let the music talk, right?
Probably that's the best thing, is like, if we can just say, just because you think it doesn't mean you should say it. It's like, everybody just go watch watch Bambi and listen to Thumper's mom. It's like, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. So sometimes, like, that's part of the thing with music and band. It's like, we got into doing what we do to make music and share. And you can't have all of that stuff. Everything doesn't, everything's not meant to be discussed and agreed on and made,
Well, I think to speak to that too, there's a song on a fan club EP that we put out in 2020, and there's a song called "Begin Again," and one of the lines in one of the verses is, the heart of the matter is the measure of a man. And for me, I think more than anything, look, we've all got opinions. They're kind of like assholes and they all stink.
Same. Everyone has a podcast.
So
Everybody has a podcast and they all
Everyone's got a comment section.
In fact, my left foot also has a podcast.
Exactly.
But there's a tricky thing, which is, I think you gotta like, I posted on Instagram a while back, open hearts and open minds solve problems. And I think more than anything, music allows people to open their hearts and open their minds. And I think if you can implore people to do that more often in their life, then some of the details and the chaos of real challenges and real opinions and real hard things to deal with can hopefully be dealt with in a more kind of even keeled way. And it's a tricky world out there, and especially when the comment section exists on everybody's.
Yeah, it's gotta be fucking hard.
Everybody's Instagram.
It's hard because you're just getting feedback all the time from you're like, who the heck's that guy?
Right.
You don't even know. It's like some dude from Finland, and you're like, I don't know.
You ever said something you wish you didn't say online?
Oh gosh, I'm sure.
What was the worst one that gave you like, come on,
Every
cringy?
other week.
What's the worst one, boys, that he said that was like, God damn it?
Yeah, I think there have been plenty.
It's one of those things where if someone asks you that, the goal is don't say it again. Because then, by the way, we're on the internet right now.
Oh, respect. I'll clap to that. You guys have been trained well.
I can tell you the worst thing I
These
said.
publicists have trained you well, Hanson. Oh shit. No, that's great, man. You know, and it's like you live and learn. Like I've said some things like earlier podcasts where I'm just like talking about like my cum and like my dick and like just like shit that I shouldn't be saying, but like I'm a fanboy of Howard Stern and stuff. And you know, Howard is such a great interviewer, but he also is personal, and like it's a fine line because our fans want us to be personal and want to see our personalities. So like when you feel like you have to be shut down from the person you really are, how hard is that? It's gotta be hard.
It's a tricky fine line, right? And part of it is people like the personality of the person they're listening to, right? And so it's always a tricky balance. I mean, I'm one of those people that would prefer honesty, and more conversation and more candidness. In most cases, not in all cases, but in most cases, especially in environments like this, you know, where you are trying to be as personable and real as you can be. And obviously, look, there's a lot of things that you probably shouldn't say out loud. And we try and avoid those as much as we can.
I feel
That's why they call them
inside thoughts.
Yeah.
That's what my manager calls it. Inside voice.
Oh, no. I was talking to a friend about music, another musician who plays on one of the songs on the blue part of the album. And we were talking about...
Not the sad part, just the blue part.
Yeah, just the blue color part. Yeah. And we were talking about fans, and he was talking about how, for him, sometimes it's hard to do meet and greets where people walk in, right? And they have all these experiences and things they're bringing with them. And you're like, I don't know this person, but they're telling me I changed their life. Right?
It's really personal for them. Yeah.
And it can be hard to be in that position because you're like, I wrote this song so that people would be able to get through that moment. Yeah. But I don't know you, right? I don't know you. Mm-hmm. So how do I meet you where you are when you have, let's say in our case, 25 years of history of knowing me. Yeah. Oh. And I've known you 2 minutes.
Yeah. Right? They grew up with you.
I can't meet you there. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love that you felt that feeling and I don't value it, right? And I don't want it for you. It's just, it's a lot of pressure. And I think it's interesting. And that kind of thing, I think, happens in so many ways when you sort of get to hold the seat of the public figure, where everything you say is not like the conversation you would have with your friend at the bar. Right?
You can't be all things. You can't be all things to all people, and you can't have everybody. You know.
But if you say something stupid, or you say something funny, or you go over a line,
sometimes stupid and funny are the same thing.
Well, if you were doing it with your friend at the bar, you just kind of go like, "Oh, that's Ben." Yeah. Right. And then you move on.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you do it in this
and also 6 people hear you. That's one of the reasons you can say, "Oh, that's Ben." If you were on a billboard and everyone in every bar downtown, they'd be like a mob outside. They were like, "You're Ben? Did you hear what he just said?"
Well, it's also because
that's part of the problem.
When you act like you're friends with everyone, but you're not friends with everyone.
Well, so one of the things, we were talking, I mentioned this about it's unfair. Like we put ourselves out there so we kind of get what we ask for versus like the dry cleaner, you know,
right.
Just like has the corner business. There's something that's happened that's going to have to get sort of reset in our generation, the next generation that like our kids are growing up
challenge,
with to check it sometime at the door, because humans are not meant to be able to manage every possible crisis happening at any point in the world at any time.
True.
Like all at the same time.
Yeah, people wake up every day and it's enough to like get your kids to school, take care of your family, like work at the job, maybe have a creative idea, grab a beer with people you know, let alone someone halfway around the world said a horrible thing. And now that person looks like you, or that person sounds like you, or that person's from the country you're from.
Yeah.
Let alone the city or the town. It's too much.
It's too much.
It's like way too much. And it's not even, it has nothing to do with your point of view. It has to do with all humans born into existence.
Well, there's a psychological reality.
Too much pressure to put on the idea of being able to get through the day as a person. And I think like you asked earlier, like, how have we not gone crazy? Like unbelievable amounts of grace that was bestowed upon us, because we know as artists, let alone just people that are now, I'm almost 40 years into life. Like there's so many chances, so many times where you should have been like either like on the street, broke, not had success doing things, really offended,
dead in the gutter that time I took your keys.
Like all the stuff that should have happened, like the year is likely. It's
motorcycle accidents.
Yeah. I mean, Zach, drove into a wall and a brick. I was just behind him on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
You saw him eat shit?
Oh yeah, no, it was right in like 100 feet in front of me.
It wasn't shit. It was brick.
Oh my God.
You know that he's a brick house. That's sax.
Did you thought he was dead?
I was worried he wasn't going to walk. I mean, frankly, I was right behind him, and I watched him fly across an intersection into a wall. But the thing is, so Zach should not be here.
It's so sad, actually, because I know it really wounded your pride.
I didn't mean to open up that. I meant to say
it's okay. I love that motorcycle. She'll always live in my heart.
Yeah.
And one day I'll just get another.
You know Chris Caraba?
Yeah, we know Chris.
Chris had a bad accident too, a motorcycle accident too.
Really bad.
We thought he was going down too.
And it was big. It was super hard for him. I know. But we all still have motorcycles, which brings you back to why we shouldn't be here.
Full circle.
I don't have a motorcycle.
That's a fucking story. That's a fucking
We have motorcycles.
That's a full answer,
We
big
get
dog.
right back on the horse and keep making the same bad choices.
But that's because living is about taking chances,
Right.
man.
You're right.
Why do you? And it's not, just different people choose different things, and having that choice to make mistakes is part of what makes the story interesting.
And I hate to say it, but I sound like the older brother because I am that guy.
He's not a motorcycle.
I don't have a motorcycle.
Yeah, let me just.
You're like, I fucking told you so.
Exactly. No, I have never said that. I've just been the thoughtful, considerate big brother that
Not
drove
jumping out
Zach
of a
to the
plane.
hospital in his truck.
That too sounds a little passive aggressive. So I was like, I'm just kidding.
They had one of those.
Pizza oven, spatulas. It sort of peeled me off the pavement, put me in a car.
Ike didn't have to say I told you so. He just went.
Well, thank God you have a big brother who has you got to have guys like that in your head. That's like mother. Like,
you've got to have people you can.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Hanson.
That's the jam. I mean, I think that the fact of being able to just realize that you're going to screw up and that's not the end of the world.
Man, you guys are fucking way cooler than I thought, dude. You guys are dope motherfuckers, dude. I swear to God. Because I was worried to talk to you. I thought, a lot of people who've been in the industry for 30 years and like just done a bunch of interviews or they just go through the cycle of it. And I appreciate you being honest about things and being honest about life and being in a band and being brothers. It's fucking hard. And for you guys,
It's a lot.
especially you guys have like,
You said it well.
yeah, and you got 15 or 20 kids out there, it's a Hanson community, man. And I just want to.
Those are the ones we know about.
Let's go. I didn't even get to the years of 13 to 17. I should, dog. You guys are just. That's one thing too. Like, what is it like to be like sex symbols at 13?
It's awkward, just like how you felt when you were awkward.
You guys have been hot your whole life.
13
You guys have been hot your whole life. Seriously.
Yeah.
When did you start settling
thank
down?
you.
Like,
I appreciate that.
you guys feel like you always been
Appreciate
family
that.
men. So like, when did you meet your girls? Like younger in life, or did you guys have a stint where you were making love and like getting down?
I want to point something out that people sometimes miss about kind of the hormones and girls everywhere, right? They're going like this the whole time.
Oh my, no, that's like, no,
It's not
that's
very
not
cute.
hot. That's not hot. No.
It's not until it all settles down and then you're like,
Don't you want to make out with that hyena?
Not really.
They're all they're like lost their voice after the show. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
It's that cute. And so I think honestly, every band should have that as their start because they just get a better perspective. Like instead of thinking, oh, look at all these cute chicks that are into me, they'd be like, oh, God.
Oh my God, you're right. I should have been a pop star, not a jam star.
all of our fans are just even more insulted.
Only could have been a pop star, like you said.
No,
I mean, we all met our wives at shows in some capacity or another.
Cool.
So,
and you all brought them back to Tulsa. Did you guys all move back to Tulsa?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how I pulled my wife away from the beach, but
Yes, they're all Southern ladies, and they all live in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And we convinced them after years that this is the South.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Leon Russell?
Even though it's not.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, we were good. I mean, I became fairly close with him, especially later in his life.
What'd you learn about
Tulsa
life and music from Leon?
Well, there's the funny things, and then there's the straight up stuff. I mean,
The dark things too.
Always,
yeah.
Well, I mean, for one, it's it takes a toll. I mean, staying staying hot to trot and staying, fighting for this thing over years. I mean, it beats you up, it definitely runs like you are running hot for a long time and, put some wear and tear on it. And his body was like so far beat up. Some of it was just how he was, but some of it was just the life on the road and never stopping. But
I think the biggest thing about Leon is just when you look at his career and how many times he decided to start over and just go for it again, build a new studio and try a new way. I think that's a huge part of his legacy as a musician, as someone that you can look at, because I think that's maybe the biggest thing you come across as a musician with history is how do I start over? Am I brave enough to try something different because it's what I really want? It's what I'm really excited by. Like maybe it won't work.
Well, continuing to reinvent yourself. I mean, he was a legend as a player, as a session musician, and then became an artist, and then he became this legendary, sort of legacy artist that other people admired. And by the time, but when we began to know him, we knew him for years, but knew him better in his later years, and he was still hungry. He was still genuinely excited about what he was doing next.
Intention.
I mean, the last time I was with him, Isaac and I think you saw him that same day.
Yeah.
We had breakfast with him, and he's sitting in our car talking about music and playing like the latest record he made, excited about it, almost like somebody is like, "Hey, what do you think?" Wants to actually know what another person thinks the same way you would when you made your first record. He was 75.
Yeah.
So like that's the takeaway is like he was still, I think, as young and energetic as he was, because he was interested in it.
I got to open for Leon for a month or so, and he was like, this is when I was like hopped up on coke and just like one night stands, and he'd see me at the end of the night in his wheelchair and stuff. He's like, you're not gonna be able to do that forever. And it's like, and it just hit me because he's in a wheelchair. He's got the big old speaker right by his ear. Have you seen that speaker he has on the stage? Just straight at his ear. I'm like, oh shit, he's giving me advice that I can't sustain this type of lifestyle. It's crazy.
It's gonna hit you hard. Yeah. But I mean, he was still fighting for it. I mean, he was, he had ideas that were well beyond. He was also an unbelievably innovative mind.
Oh my
God. Guy saw stuff. I mean, he was conceiving of music videos, of multi-track, types of recording. The whole way. The
studio he built in Tulsa, he built in a church, called it the Church Studio. Yeah. It's actually been recently renovated. But he had two floors worth of control room. One was the audio control room, and the upstairs was the video control room. And his idea was this, because he was seeing music videos coming. This is in the early to mid 70s. And he was like, no, music videos, it's going to be like filming studio performances and live performances. So we need to be ready for that. And so he literally had his studio built that way.
Sick.
So,
and I love the young guys in his band, like Bo, Bo. Those guys always back me up when I'm in Tulsa and don't have a band. I just think goes back to the community of how you were raised. I think that's why you guys didn't get hopped up on drugs and pussy and shit, because like you guys were raised good. Your parents raised you to be to just focus on your craft and put intention in. You call faith, but put intention into the things that make you passionate and make you love. And for that, I'm going to clap up for your fucking parents. Let's go, Hanson parents. Hell yeah. Shout out.
I agree with you.
No, seriously, because some people get famous that young and get fucked up by it. And it's all about how you were raised and the morals that your parents taught you. So I'm going to give a shout out to your parents. That's fucking awesome.
Well, and I will say too, it's, you can have a lot of fun and have a good time. Right. But you don't have to let the good time take over from the intention that you have. Right. And so I think that's really just trying to find that balance of having fun and enjoying the life you've got and loving it and putting in that good fun and the good and stuff, but also, not losing the reason that got you there in the first place, which I think we had in a weird way, the youth actually probably contributed to us being more focused on the craft than not in some ways, because it was almost like we got into this thing and started to see success in a significant way, almost pre hormones in some sense, you
I
know.
was really focused on the Kraft macaroni and cheese, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
And if you've ever snorted Kraft macaroni and cheese,
You don't want none of this shit, do we? It gives you cavities. Guys, thank you so much.
God bless.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
very
Very
much
nice
for
to
having
meet you. We all got to hang out when you guys live in Tulsa. I play Canes all the time, so I'll get your number from Paul or just say, hey, don't give my number to Frasco. That's fine too. But
no, but it's happening.
Yeah, let's hang and let's write some tunes.
We'll sort some Kraft macaroni and cheese and have a good time.
I'm down. I'll bring the weed. So I could snort. Okay, cool.
There's a lot in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is now the second highest state in the union, so this is a great place to be if you're a weed.
Let's go, Oklahoma. We're back, baby. We thought it was going to be.
We got all the freedom of religion, freedom of firearms, freedom of drugs.
Hell yeah, treat yourself. When you think of freedom, you think of Oklahoma, baby. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Hope you guys have a great tour season.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man,
We
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Have a good one, dude.
Yeah.